Testing, 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 testing. got my car in the shot.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Harwood Arena on the campus of Kean University for the 2014 Metro Classic. Tonight's first game features the Point Pleasant Borough Panthers and the Governor Livingston Highlanders. It is now time to introduce the starting lineups. First for Point Pleasant Borough. At guard, senior, number 4, Riel Garber. At guard, junior, number 12, Lindsay Havens. At guard, senior, number 13, Jamie Pipe. At guard, freshman, number 23, Megan Hughes. And at forward, freshman, number 24, Amy Zaleski. The head coach of the Panthers is David Drew.
Okay, now one.
And now the starting lineup for Governor Livingston. At forward, senior, number 24, Lauren DeStasso. At forward, senior, number 2, Jamie Pyrus. At forward, senior, number 34, Katie Riley. At guard, junior, number 13, Haley Berliner. And at guard, junior, number 21, Sarah Dilley. The head coach of the Highlanders is Rob Ritter. The officials for tonight's game are Jeff Patillo, Steve Taylor, and Kevin Downs.
And we welcome you to a special game at Harwood Arena for a tournament. And we have high school basketball between Governor Livingston and Point Pleasant Borough. This is a girls basketball game. Governor Livingston 8-13 on the season. Point Pleasant 12-8. As we get things kicked off, Governor Livingston loses the tip-off. Point Pleasant comes inside, and Amy Berleski gets the first 2 points of the game. Point Pleasant playing full court defense on Governor Livingston. Governor Livingston is a few spots down in their standings, coming off a game against Summit where they lost 21-44. Point Pleasant is 12-8 on the season, and currently they won their last game against Lakewood, and they stand 5 spots down from first place in their standings. As Berleski takes it 3, and that's off the mark. Rebound by Governor Livingston. Governor Livingston passing the ball up, shot taken, caught, rebounded, passed up quickly up court, passed inside, and Point Pleasant will pass around the arc. And stripped and taken away by Governor Livingston, handled by Sarah Dilley. Sarah Dilley, a sophomore, actually a junior right now, as she takes a shot off the mark, rebounded by Point Pleasant, and they're off and running. And the ball is stripped and taken away by number 13, Haley Berliner and giving back to Sailor Dilly on top of the arc. She passes back to Berliner, who gives it to number 24, is off the mark. Rebound taken up by Point Pleasant. Passed inside and fouled. Lindsay Haven will go to the line for the first time tonight. DeSasto with that foul, and now she has one. Point Pleasant coming in on a day. Lindsay Haven has made 30 of her 45 free throws, make it 31 to 46. Lindsay Haven is the second leading scorer on the team as she tries to add her first two of the night, and she goes 1 for 2 at the line, and rebounded taken up by Jenny Perez, who passes it to Berliner inside to Santos, and Point Pleasant's out and running. Havens with another 2 points, and now she has 3. Havens off to a good start. As that's a travel, and Governor Livingston turns the ball over. And Point Pleasant will take it back up the court. Governor Livingston needs a little help playing one of their last 2 games of the season. If they win these 2 games, they may be able to move up in the standings. And even though they won't finish over 500, they'll finish at least in the middle of the pack. As they pass it up court and they turn the ball over again, and Point Pleasant's up and running. Good ball movement as Maddie Martin tried to spot up for a 3, and that was way off the mark. And she gave the ball right back to Point Pleasant. To Governor Livingston, excuse me. Point Pleasant up by 3, 5-2 is the game right now. Berliner inside to Di Tommaso. That's off the mark. Lindsay Haven's out and running again, and she's going to set it back up. And that was number 21, Maddie Martin, who tried to drive to the lane. She got fouled. That was number 13, Haley Berliner, with the foul. And she's probably going to come out the game because she's in foul trouble. And she's going to get replaced by number 51, by Courtney Osija, who's a junior. Governor Livingston steals the ball, up and running, and a good shot by Jenny Perez. Now the game is 5-4 after that layup and turnover. And Skinner with the assist. This ball is going to get inbounded. And number 33, Segal had that ball. She made a nice pass to Brianna Barber with the layup. Now it's 7-4. Point Pleasant. It's Point Pleasant's bench trying to rally on their team. Governor Livingston with good ball movement. Shot by Perez, and she hits a 3. Paris off to a good start. Off to a really good start. And there's a timeout by Government Livingston. This is a 30-second timeout. We will be back after this. And we're back after this timeout. Game is tied 7-7 in the first quarter. Both teams trying to improve their record. If Point Pleasant win this game, they'll be 13-8 and have a chance to move up in their standings. As they have the ball right now, working it around. And that three off the mark, rebounded, saved, but then taken away by Beliner as she's running up the court. And they find their point guard, and Perez turns the ball over. And there's a foul in the play. And it's going to stay with Point Pleasant. Byers with the foul. And that's her first. And there's a travel on the play. Number 23, Megan Hughes, freshman, traveling on that play. And the ball gets turned over. Beliner with the ball, passes it inside. And that's an easy 2 points by Courtney Osija, who only has about 51 points throughout the whole season. And there's a foul on the play. Osija just fouled Brianna Skinner on the play, and she's going to go to the line. She hits that one. We're going to have a couple substitutions come in. As number 14, as Jamie Pike and Julie Koza are going to come in the game for Point Pleasant. Both seniors on the team. And Skinner hits both of them.
Number 12, Lauren Serrano, is in for
Governor Livingston. Lauren Serrano is in the game. And that's a three-pointer. And Berliner hits a three-pointer. She's getting some good minutes out right there. As Point Pleasant passes the ball inside. Layup, not good. Rebound by Governor Livingston and brought up the court by number 21. Sarah Dilly. And there's a foul on the play, and Governor Livingston's going to keep it on their side of the court. Beliner. Back to Beliner, as she's going to set up this play. Pass to Serrano, who passes it to Dilly. And Dilly's going to work the ball inside, lays it up, not good. Rebound by Point Pleasant as they try to run the ball up the court. Passes it to Havens, who's looking for a screen. Gets a screen, shoots it three off the mark, gets her own rebound, lays it up, and puts it in. Lindsay Havens, junior on the team, showing why she gets so many minutes. Governor Livingston comes back the other way. Layup not good. Rebounded. Beliner. Back to Martin. Almost lost the ball. Layup not good by Aduja. And there's a foul on the play. And the ball's going to stay with Governor Livingston. Maddie Martin's going to inbound this ball. Oh, and the ball is tipped and it goes back out of bounds. That was number 3, D. Tomaso. This ball's going to stay. And Governor Livingston. And still going to stay with Governor Livingston. Good D by D. Tomaso so far. And they're going to try inbound it a third time, and they finally get it. Beliner, nice move inside. And off the mark. Rebound taken up by Lindsey Havens. Passes the ball. Not good. Lindsey Havens gives the ball to Megan Hughes. Gives the ball inside. Oh, nice pass. A nice pass for Brianna Skinner. And Barber changed the number and does a nice layup after a nice pass from Brianna Barber. And now this game is 12-13, 17 seconds left on the clock. Beliner takes a shot off the mark, rebounded. Osija gets the rebound, shoots it up, and now she's going to go to the line. And that's the team's first foul. Courtney Osija is going to be shooting a couple. And she makes the first one. Amy Burleski is back. Oh, and Governor Livingston gets the ball back. She has 5 seconds left on the clock. Tries to shoot it. Missed. Rebound. Shot before the clock, but it will not count. And that's the end of the first half. And the Sky is tied up. 13-13. And we'll be back for the second quarter after this short break. And we're back for the second half. Governor Livingston is going to have the ball. And this one's going to be brought up by Dilly. Pass to Beliner. Inside to Osija. And that ball's going to get knocked out. But last touch by Livingston. And Point Pleasant's going to take the ball out. And Haven's going to take this one up. Passes it to Barber. Shoots it 3, way off by Hughes. Spots up again, Barber, and no. Rebounded by Livingston, and they're out and running. Layup, that's good by Dilly. Sarah Dilly has a couple points. There's a layup by DiTomaso, and that's not good. Livingston gets the ball back. And Dilly's going to have it up top. She finds her point guard, tries to lay it up backwards. Perez misses. Out and running is Point Pleasant. They lose the ball. Livingston's up. We're going to run up the court. Beliner with the ball. Passes it to Dilly. Dilly's going to set it up top. Back to Beliner. Back to Dilly. Inside to Osija. She's double teamed. She gives it back to Dilly. Dilly loses it. Gets the ball back. And passing her on the arc. And this is some good D by Point Pleasant as they keep getting their hand on the ball. Dilly's going to try to take it inside to Osija, who passes it around the arc. Good passing right now. There's a shot that's way off the mark, but rebounded by Osija. Beliner takes a three, and that's good. And Point Pleasant are going to take another timeout. 5:50 remaining, and Governor Livingston has a 5-point lead, 18-13. When we come back. Don't go anywhere after this game, because at 7:30, Long Island Lutheran is going to play the Patrick School, number 5 ranked. And New Jersey is going to be against a number 1 ranked New York team at 7:30, just right after this, as Governor Livingston forces a turnover, and they're going to be out and running up the court. Passes it to Dilly. Dilly's going to handle the ball on top of the arc, who gets a screen, runs into a defender, passes to Perez, and Livingston's going to try to set up here. They're going to run a play. Beliner finds a hole, passes to Osija, who gets an easy 2, and that was a nice pass. And Point Pleasant's going to come up and try to stop this run. She gets the ball to Havens, who passes the ball to Barber. Gets the ball back to Pike. Passes it inside. Tries to find Havens. But there's a nice cutoff by Dilly. Knocked the ball out of bounds. And we're going to see Skinner come back in the game. Oh, and there's a nice pass by Havens, but it's blocked by Perez, and the ball's going to go the other way after that block. Livingston's been playing pretty good against this 12-8 Point Pleasant team as of far, and they're out and running, passes it, finds it inside, almost an and 1, and Osija's going to be going to the line. Now, you talk about Osija and how she's coming in the game and she's producing right now. Usually through the whole season, during these 21 games, she's only had about 49 points. And now she's coming in and contributing. And she's very close to 10 points. Almost leading her team right now. as she knocks down 2 free throws and gives her team a 22-13 lead over 12 and 8 Point Pleasant. The Panthers need to stop this run soon. Havens has the ball up top of the arc. And there's a steal as Governor Livingston switches in to a 2-3 zone. Dilly has the ball, draws 2 defenders. Perez for 3, and that's it. Wow, and now the game is 25-13. As Point Pleasant has the ball, and Governor Livingston is going to stay in his 2-3 zone. As there's a foul on the play after a hard drive by Berlinski. And she's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. She hits her first free throw, and we're going to have a substitution as Colaza is going to come in. Cloza is going to come in. And she's going to replace Hughes. She goes 1 for 2, but there's a rebound by Skinner. Havens for 3, missed. Rebound. And there's an offensive foul. Perez takes a nice charge there. Now, Governor Livingston's playing really good. You know, coming in at 8-13 on the season, lost their last game. They're playing against this Point Pleasant team who's won 2 out of their last 3. And they can really just kind of throw off this team. You can think Governor Livingston trying to finish off this season strong and finish 10-13 as Osicha hits another layup. And now she has 9 points. And Point Pleasant almost gave the ball up there. And this 2-3 zone is really getting to this Panther team. As Governor Livingston has 2 substitutions. And Serrano and Berlin are going to go out. And DeSasto and Baran are going to come back in. The score is 27-14. 3:04 left in the half. You think Point Pleasant wants to finish off these last 3 minutes with a couple points as they shoot a 3. And there's a nice point by Barber. And she was 1 in 3 of the first. She was 1 of 3. And Livingston almost loses the ball there. It's a held ball, and Point Pleasant's going to get the ball back with 2:51 remaining. And they're down by 10. They can actually go on a run here. See if they can shrink this lead. So Havens is going to get the ball back, and she's going to run it up the court. Barber spots up for 3 again, off the mark. Rebound by Livingston. Sloppy pass, and there's going to be a foul on the play after the offensive rebound by Cloza, and she's going to get the ball back on her side. Dilly's going to get called for that foul. And Livingston is going to take a 30-second timeout, 27-17 remaining, and we'll be back after this. .237 remaining. Point Pleasant has the ball down by 10. trying to inbound it from their own side. She gets the ball to Barber, and Barber's going to take it inside, pass it around the arc, gives it to Haven. Haven's going to lose it, and that's another turnover for the Panthers. Oh, and there's nice defense by Closa, and she almost knocked the ball away from Dilly. Dilly finds Belina. Liner's going to take it inside, finds Perez, who shoots and spots up and takes another three. Contested shot. Pirates is going to get the ball. And Point Pleasant got a little greedy there, and now they turn the ball over. Now the game is 29-17. And Lauren DeSasso is going to come out the game, and Livingston is going to get the ball back. Perez is going to pass it to Beliner. Beliner finds the ball. Dilly is going to have it up top. Pass it inside to Osija. Finds Beliner again. She gets an easy look. She misses it. Point Pleasant's going to get the ball back. 1:27 remaining. Finds Havens. Havens for three, and she hits that. And they cut this lead back to single digits. Dilly takes a shot. That's off the mark. Fight for the ball. She finds Havens. Havens behind her back. Whoa. And then there's a minute left. She finds an open teammate for three. Missed. Colaza misses it. And Colaza, just a collision right there. And we're going to have a couple substitutions as Skinner's going to come back in the game. Dilly is going to pass his ball up. You have 45 seconds left in this first half. She finds Beliner. Passes it to Suju. Passes it back to Beliner. Finds Perez, who finds Dilly. Back to Serrano. Finds Beliner. Passes it back to Dilly, and they're just going to run the clock out here. Good ball movement here. And that's been the story of this first half. As if 5 seconds, there's four. Shot up, missed. And there's a fight for the ball. And that's the end of the first half. As it's 29-20. And the 8-13, Governor Livingston is leading the 12-8 Point Pleasant Borough. As we go into halftime, we'll see you back for the second half of this game.
acre parcel, which is pretty diverse. It's forested, it's got open fields.
It's known statistically that when students are able to feel and actually touch what they're learning, the retention rate is much higher.
It gives us the opportunity for long-term research, for staging of various projects, and not just trying to teach students how this works in Union, New Jersey.
Being able to work out in the field with your professors will afford each student a great opportunity to really get a hands-on feel.
And actually being able to be immersed in nature pretty much 24/7.
The Can Highlands project is a new campus for sustainability science majors, so they can go and be in nature, learn about nature.
It's a 41-acre parcel, which is pretty diverse. It's forested, it's got open fields.
It's known statistically that when students are able to feel and actually touch what they're learning, the retention rate is much higher.
It gives us the opportunity for long-term research, for staging of various projects, and not just trying to teach students how this works in Union, New Jersey.
Being able to work out in the field with your professors will afford each student a great opportunity to really get a hands-on feel.
And actually being able to be immersed in nature pretty much 24/7.
The Can Highlands project is a new campus for sustainability science majors, so they can go and be in nature, learn about nature.
It's a 41-acre parcel, which is pretty diverse. It's forested, it's got open fields.
It's known statistically that when students are able to feel and actually touch what they're learning, the retention rate is much higher.
It gives us the opportunity for long-term research, for staging of various projects, and not just trying to teach students how this works in Union, New Jersey.
Being able to work out in the field with your professors will afford each student a great opportunity to really get a hands-on feel.
And actually being able to be immersed in nature pretty much 24/7.
Oh, say can
offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University.
And we're back for the second half of this 3-game header we have. We have girls basketball action. Governor Livingston is taking on Point Pleasant right now. It's 29-20, and the story of the first half is Governor Livingston's passing and their ball movement, as they have taken a 9-point lead over 12 and 8 Point Pleasant right now. As you may call it an upset, because Governor Livingston is coming in off of a 2-game losing streak, as they spot up and shoot and miss, and Point Pleasant with the rebound as they're coming up the court. Barber is going to have the ball, pass it inside, and another turnover for Point Pleasant, which is another story of the first half. How many times Point Pleasant has turned this ball over. This 2-3 defense of Governor Livingston is just hammering Point Pleasant to the point where they're turning the ball over, and Point Pleasant are just moving the ball around great and find a lot of open shots. And that was a 3-pointer by Sarah Dilly. Sarah Dilly just hit a 3-pointer and made this game a 12-point advantage in favor of Governor Livingston, as Point Pleasant takes the ball up the court, and they need to find a spark, as there's a 3 taken by Barber, and that was off the mark, and that's a held ball, and Point Pleasant will keep the ball on their side of the court. Don't go anywhere, because after this game there is a game between number 5 in Jersey, the Patrick School, and Long Island, number 1 in New York, at 7:30. Right after this game, there's a foul on the play. Lindsay Havens will go to the line. She has a 1-on-1, as she converted her shot, but she missed that free throw there, and it's a 10-point advantage. As they pass it up the court, there's good ball movement. Berlin takes the ball inside, finds Perez. Perez passes it to Dilly. Dilly gets a screen, finds a wide open number 24, but that's a travel on the play, and Point Pleasant will get the ball back. So it's 5:56 left, 32-22 in favor of Governor Livingston. Governor Livingston gets the ball back. Passes it to Point Pleasant. Megan Hughes handling the ball. Oh, and that was a nice pass. That was a nice pass to number 4, Barber. And Barber will go into the line and try to cut this game back down to single digits. And if they were going to get back in this game, they're going to need more passes like that, and especially less turnovers on their side of the ball, as there's a substitution. Osija, who had a monster first half, who had 9 points and led the team, is back in the game. And you can expect them to go back to her when they get the ball back in a second. And now this game is cut down to 8, and it's full court pressure by Point Pleasant. But there's a foul. But there's a timeout on the play, as Governor Livingston is going to try to rethink a game plan. It's a 30-second timeout. 5:29 left. Governor Livingston up by 8.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University.
So after that quick timeout, we're back. Governor Livingston up by 8. The biggest lead they had was 14. But they will keep the ball, and Dilly will inbound it. Point Pleasant, full court pressure right now. Berlin out and running, finds an open Osija, but she travels. And Point Pleasant will get the ball back. And that's the second turnover in as many as 3 minutes for Governor Livingston. And Point Pleasant will come back up the court. As Hughes handles the ball, gives it to Barber. Gets back to Hughes. Hughes and Barber trying to find it, but that 2-3 defense is just really good for Livingston as they're using it to their advantage right now. As Dilly finds Berliner, who finds it up top to Segal, who finds Osija, but Osija couldn't finish. Point Pleasant gets the ball back. As they're quickly attacked to the basket, and that one is in and out for Jimmy Pike. Oh, they find Berliner right up the court. Osija loses it again, and Point Pleasant gets another quick turnover. Passes it to Hughes. Hughes tries to finish, but she gets fouled, and she's going to the line. And she has a chance to cut this game to 6. You see Hughes' hand tightly taped right now. You can see, we wonder how much that affects her right now as she goes to the line. That is her shooting hand. As she tries to take a quick free throw and she misses. We got a couple substitutions coming in as Skinner comes in for Point Pleasant. And Hughes goes 0 for 2 at the line. And Livingston doing a good job of pushing the ball, but have been sloppy for this first 4 minutes of the opening quarter. As they turn the ball over 4 times. And Point Pleasant is going to get the ball back again. It's this 2-3 defense again. As Barber cuts to the basket, tries to lay it up, but it doesn't go. And Governor Livingston is going to get the ball back after there's a held ball on the play. Again, Point Pleasant coming in at 12 and 8, 4 games over 500. But getting tested by this 8 and 13 Governor Livingston team right now. After beating Lakewood and losing to Toms River the last 2 games. You know, Point Pleasant has 3 more games on their schedule left. So you would think that they would try to finish off this season 16 and 8 if they could win these last 4 games, but they're really getting tested by Governor Livingston and his 2-3 defense. Oh, and there's full court pressure by Point Pleasant, but there's a foul called on Hughes, and Hughes is a little frustrated after that. And the ball's going to stay with Governor Livingston. As Dilly's going to try to pass it up. finds Boliner, who tries to bounce pass it to Osija, but it bounces off of Skinner's leg, and Barber's going to take this ball up the court. And she shoots a three, and that's good. And Point Pleasant is slowly but surely cutting into this lead, and that was 27-32, and they lead by, and Governor Livingston only has a 5-point lead now. As she finds Berliner, as she passes to Perez, who spots up and shoots and hits it. Pyrus makes another shot for her team, and she has 7. As Hughes spots up for 3, and she hits it. And Point Pleasant starting to get hot from 3-point line as they hit 2 in a row, and this lead is cut to 4. Barber not paying attention, and she just left it. And Lauren Serrano just hits a wide open jumper. As they pass it around, Hughes tries to shoot another 3, but that was off the mark, way off the mark. And this game is 36-30 with 2:12 left in the third quarter. Beliner finds a wide open Asuju, who can't handle the ball off her fingertips, and the ball's going to go back to Point Pleasant. And here comes Skinner back in for Hughes.
Number 33, Brianna Skinner, is back in for Point Pleasant Borough. She replaces Megan Hughes.
And Point Pleasant is going to come up with the ball. And Barber shoots another 3, and she's getting hot. There's another 3, and now this lead is down to 3. And you would think that Point Pleasant is getting the idea with this 2-3 defense to start shooting more jump shots and shooting more outside shots. As long as they keep passing the ball around the arc, they will get these wide open shots. And that's the defect of a 2-3 defense that Governor Livingston is playing. And the ball is almost turned over. And fight for the ball on the floor. Point Pleasant gets it. And it's going to be a held ball. And Point Pleasant's going to get it. Point Pleasant's going to get this ball back, and they're shooting really well from the 3-point arc in the second half as far. And this game is 36-33 with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. As Barber gets the ball back, finds Havens. Havens slips and falls and gets the ball up. And Governor Livingston is going to take it back up the court. As they pass it up to Seagal. Seagal misses the shot. Point Pleasant runs up the court. Finds Haven. She shoots a long 3. That's way off. And brought back up by Livingston. Dilly with the ball. Oh, and they find a wide open Prez, who misses a bad shot. Barber with the ball. Finds Skinner. Skinner just drives in and takes it herself. And now this game is a 1-point game with 20 seconds left in the third quarter. 13 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if Livingston can get a shot up. There's 9. Shot clock at 6. Down, shoots the 3. Misses. Rebounded. Nice move. And that doesn't go up. In this game, that was once 14. Governor Livingston had a 14-point lead. Point Pleasant cuts that down to 13. Game is 36-35 going into the fourth quarter. And we'll be back when the fourth quarter starts.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University.
Fourth quarter of this 3-game header. 8 minutes left. Governor Livingston up by 1 point. Point Pleasant comes down from 14 in that third quarter to cut this game to 1 after a couple three-pointers. And Governor Livingston is going to try to hold on to beat this 12-8 team. Point Pleasant rebounds the ball and has a chance to take the lead if making this shot right now. Pass around the arc. Havens has the ball. Passes it to Hughes, who gets it to Havens. Back to Hughes. Inside. And she's getting smothered. And there's a timeout by Point Pleasant after that sloppy play. And we'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean.
After that 30-second timeout, 7:27 left. Point Pleasant has the ball, down by 1, and trying to improve to 13-8. As that ball is a little bit overthrown, Hughes gets the ball back, and she is D'd tightly by Dilly. As this team stays in a 2-3 defense, it has caused some turnovers, but Point Pleasant is starting to get those open threes, which usually comes as a defect for the 2-3. As we have a foul on the play, and the ball is going to stay with Point Pleasant. Burleski is going to be in to rebound this ball. She gets it to Skinner, who gets it to Hughes, who takes it 3. Havens takes it 3, misses it, and rebounded by Livingston. They're working it around the arc right now. Serrano travels, or better yet, is an offensive foul on Serrano. Serrano gives the ball right back to Point Pleasant. DeSantos gives the ball to Havens. Back to DeSantos. And back to Havens to Skinner, who tries to power it down low. And that 2-3 defense forces another turnover. Seagal handling the ball right now. Passes it. Perez. To Perez. Passes it to Dilly. Back to Dilly. Dilly handles it. Seagal. Down low. Oh, almost taken away. Gets the ball to Perez, who has a hot hand. Finds Dilly. 6 minutes left. And they're going to set back up. Point Pleasant playing good defense right now. As the coach urges them on to keep playing. As Dilly has the ball up top. And Dilly tells him ISO. Oh, and it's a turnover. Hughes gets the ball back. She passes it to Barber, who passes it back to Havens inside, and Skinner gets two, and the game is back in favor of Point Pleasant by 1. And now it's grinding time for Governor Livingston, time for them to show their toughness. After being up by 14, now they're down by 1. Seagal passes it, finds Perez. She finds Havens. She finds Serrano. Serrano misses the shot. Rebounded by Point Pleasant. Finds Hughes. Hughes is going to try to barrel inside herself. And she missed. Rebound by Governor Livingston. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left. And there's a timeout by Governor Livingston. And Point Pleasant is back up by 1. Even though they're trailing by more than 14. Now they have the game well in hand. 4 minutes, 41 seconds back. 4 minutes, 41 seconds left.
Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University.
And we're back. 4:41 left in this game. And Point Pleasant gets an easy steal and bounces it off to Governor Livingston. This game is going back and forth. Governor Livingston is down by 1. There's 4:37 left in this game. And Point Pleasant is trying to improve their record and move up in their standings in the South A group. The ball is moved around. Barber with the ball right now. She's moving it around the arc. Who passes it to Pike, who gives the ball to Burliski, who passes it back to Pike, gives the ball back into Skinner. Barber splits 2 defenders, lays it up and puts it in. And now Point Pleasant up by 3 after being down by 14. And Governor Livingston trying to stop this run as she's now it's too easy. Serrano just runs right past Skinner and lays it up for 2. And now this game is back down to 1. As Skinner passes it inside, and there's a hip check, and it's going to be a blocking foul on Governor Livingston. And if Governor Livingston gets one more foul, they're going to be in the bonus and give Point Pleasant chances to get points at the line. And they don't want that with 3:36 remaining. Point Pleasant doing a good job with foul trouble, only having 2 fouls so far, as there's a held ball, and it's going to stay in the possession of Point Pleasant. And if Governor Livingston doesn't get something going on offense really soon, they're going to let this game slip out of their hands. They're staying in this 2-3 defense to try to force these turnovers as Barber gets the ball back in their hands. And they need to make sure they don't catch her outside the arc. as she's hit 4 3-pointers in this game. Hughes up top, passes it, and finds a bar open. Barber, who shoots a 3, and she hits it. And Barber has had the hot hand so far in this second half. Beliner spots up for 3. That doesn't go. Rebound by Serrano, and she hits it back and lays it up. And this is a 2-point game, and it's 2:48 left. And this game coming down to the wire right now, as both teams not giving an edge. Oh, and there's just a bad pass by Berlisky. And she gives the ball back. And now Governor Livingston has a chance to either tie or take the lead with 2:37 left. Like I said, don't go anywhere. This is a 3-game header. This is only our first game. Girls basketball action right now. Governor Livingston taking on Point Pleasant. After this, you're going to have St. Patrick's number 5 in Jersey playing. As this game is coming down to the wire. That game is at 7:30. Beliner almost loses the ball there. He was playing nice defense. Point Pleasant has played really good D in the second half. Getting a lot of tip balls here. Beliner tries to pass it to Serrano. She doesn't find her. Back to Beliner, and Beliner's going to hold the ball here. Splits 2 defenders, tries to lay it up, and she does a good job, and she's going to be going to the line for a couple. Beliner with 9 points in his game has a chance to add 2 more to her stat sheet. And now she just hit her first free throw and got her 7 points of the game. Brianna Skinner's going to sit down, and that's kind of questionable. Why you let your inside defender sit down at this point in the game. But nevertheless, Havens has the ball up top, and she has the most points on the team. And you would think Havens down low at this point in the game will probably get the ball as Hughes sets up, and she's calling for a pick. She finds Barber, who finds Havens, who gives up the ball to Governor Livingston, and this game is tied. And that ball is off of Governor Livingston, and it's going to stay in Point Pleasant's possession now. And Point Pleasant is going to call a timeout. 1:12 left in this game, 42-42. Governor Livingston, Point Pleasant coming down to the wire now.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean.
1:12 left in this game. Point Pleasant with the ball has a chance to take the lead as they try to improve to 13-8 on the season. Let's see if they can do something with the ball. There's 1 minute left in this game. Governor Livingston has been playing a really good game, 8-12 on the season, trying to throw off this 12-8 team. As Hughes is D'ing by Dilly, and that ball was almost stolen by Perez. 45 seconds left now. Both coaches are trying to urge their team on. This ball is passed up to Barber. Dilly D'ing her tied up. Governor Livingston has switched to man-to-man defense. 30 seconds left in this game. As Barber shoots a three off the mark, Governor Livingston has the ball. 22 seconds left. Full court press. And there's a timeout by Governor Livingston in his 16.7 seconds left. Now we're going to stay with you during this timeout. It's a 30-second. Now you think about this right now. It's 16.7 seconds left. Who do you give the ball to down the line?
Let's just say
you have all your players right now who almost have double figures. Will you give the ball to Dilly, or you give the ball to Berliner, who's been shooting good for you? Or do you give the ball to Prez? And if you're Point Pleasant, do you come out in zone defense and you come in man defense? Both coaches probably drawing up something for their team right now. And you think that Point Pleasant or Governor Livingston is going to hold this ball for the last shot. I think you give the ball to Dilly. She's been handling the ball for you really, really good this whole game. And she will set up somebody for the perfect shot. Point Pleasant has all their tall defenders out right now. You have Hughes out there. You have Givens out there. You have Barber out there. And this is a chance for Point Pleasant to move up in the standings, so you think this game means a lot to them. And Governor Livingston, this is one of their last two games. So Perez is going to inbound the ball, 16.7 seconds left. Game tied, 42-42. Fourth quarter right now. She gives the ball to Berliner. And Berliner is D-tight. Gives the ball to Dilly down low to Osija. Berliner gets the ball back. And then they're going to call it out of bounds. 5.8 seconds left. And there's a timeout. There's a timeout called by Point Pleasant. And Point Pleasant is going to get the ball back and a chance to win the game. And this is a full timeout. 5.8 left. Fourth quarter. Game tied 42-42. And we'll be back right after this.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today.
All right, here we go, folks. 5.8 left. Game tie, 42-42. Governor Livingston was up 14 in this game, and Point Pleasant came back to tie this game up 42-42 all. They're going to have to push this ball up the court. They have 5.8 seconds left on the clock. You would think they would give the ball to Barber. She has had the hot hand so far. But you would give the ball to Havens, who is your point leader. She gives the ball to Haven. 3 seconds left. She passes it up. And that ball was stolen. And we are going into overtime. 42-42. Both teams couldn't get the last shot off. And Governor Livingston had a chance to throw off this team when they were up by 14, but Point Pleasant battles back to tie this game up. But either way, the game is tied, and we'll be back when overtime starts. And if you are just joining us in this 3-game header, this is the first game of the other 2 games that are supposed to come up. Don't go anywhere because the game was supposed to start at 7:30. St. Patrick is playing, but this game is going into overtime. This first game, this girls basketball game against Point Pleasant in Governor Livingston, is tied at 42. It's a 4-minute overtime period right now. And Governor Livingston is trying to throw off this 12-8 Point Pleasant team. And Point Pleasant gets an early 2 points. Good ball movement. And Katie Selesky gets the ball. And Berlin passes to Osija. Osija lays it up, and she gets it easy too. And now this game is high tempo now. Both teams trying to push the ball back up the court. It's 3:32 left. Oh, and this nice defense by Dilly. But the ball's going to stay with Point Pleasant. And Berlisky is going to try to inbound the ball, as she does. And she gets the ball back. But she loses it, and it's going to go with Governor Livingston. Governor Livingston with 3:22 left, trying to gain the lead back after losing it and being up by 14. And there's a nice pass to Osija, but she can't handle it. And Perez tries to save it, but can't. And Point Pleasant's going to get the ball back. Skinner's going to come out the game, and Jamie Pike is going to come back in. Lindsay Haven is going to be in the game. And you would think that she needs to start to contribute as the ball is stolen. Dilly up the court, lays it up, and can't get the ball to go in. Excuse me, that was Serrano who's playing. Berliner gets to Osija, and she tries to lay it up, and she gets fouled. Osija's going to go to the line. 2:45 left. Osija with 8 points so far. And she misses that one. Let's see if she can go 1 for 2 and put her team back up by 1. And she does. Now Governor Livingston takes the lead back. And Osija actually has 12 points in this game. 45-44. Havens up top has the ball. Passes it to Pike, who passes it to Hughes. Passes it to Berkowski, and she lays it up after making a nice move, and it doesn't go in. 2:20 left, and Governor Livingston trying to widen this lead. Passes to Berliner, who's had a really quiet game, but played really well. Dilly almost loses it. Berliner picks it back up. She finds Serrano, and the bounce pass gets tipped out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Governor Livingston. Now we're in 2 minutes. And the question is if Governor Livingston can widen his lead and hold on to beat 12-8 Point Pleasant. And she tries to bounce it between somebody's legs after, and that's good defense by Point Pleasant as they take the ball away. Passes it to Pike, who passes it to Barber. Barber tries to get the ball inside, can't, gives it back to Hughes, who gives it to Havens, who spots up, shoots it 3 off the mark, rebounded by Livingston. Serrano with the rebound. Passed up to Perez, back to Serrano. Up the court to Dilly, who tries to pass it inside. Berlin gets her shot punched. Minute 17 left. Dilly, strong move, and questionable call there. That looked like a blocking foul to me, but the referee calls it a charge. And Dilly's coach thinks she should be going to the line right now. And Skinner's going to come back in. And that call could come back to haunt Governor Livingston. As there's a minute 10 left in this game. Or in the first overtime period. Hughes has the ball up top, passes it to Pike. Pike gets a screen and gets it to Hughes. And they're going to call a foul on Governor Livingston. And that's Governor Livingston's 8th team foul. And now Skinner's going to go to the line. Skinner has a 1-on-1 going to the line. Let's see if she can tie or take the team back over Point Pleasant, as she misses, but Hughes gets the rebound, loses it, and Skinner is a fight for the ball. And Skinner is going to grab the ball and get the Point Pleasant the ball back with 49.1 seconds remaining. That game that's supposed to start at 7:30 is going to start a little late because of this overtime period. Governor Livingston is going to take a timeout. Point Pleasant has the ball, 49.1 remaining. Governor Livingston up by 1.
Oh, say, can you see?
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University.
.1 seconds left on the clock. Point Pleasant down by 1. Governor Livingston up 45-44 in this overtime period. Governor Livingston has the ball back, and they're going to try to widen this lead as Point Pleasant has full court pressure on Governor Livingston right now. Oh, and there's a trap, and they're going to call foul on the Point Pleasant. But they're not in foul trouble yet. Governor Livingston has done a good job. Point Pleasant has done a good job of staying out of foul trouble, as they're only at 5 team fouls. 2 more, and Governor Livingston will be in a bonus. Oh, and there's a nice pass. And Osija goes up, and she takes a hard hit, but she will be going to the line. That foul is going to go on Lindsay Haven. Courtney Osija is going to go to the line for 2 after that foul. And she misses that one. Let's see if she can convert the other one. But nevertheless, there's another timeout. That's the Panthers' final timeout. So we will be back after this timeout. 45-44, 39.3 seconds remaining.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean University.
So 39.3 seconds remaining. Governor Livingston at the line. One more free throw to go. Osija trying to put a team up by 2. See if she can convert this one after missing the last. And she makes it. Settled down and makes it. That was a big free throw by her. It's 35 seconds left. Governor Livingston has full court pressure up. Barber getting pressured. Barber gets the ball back. Oh, and there's a nice pass to Havens, and that ball goes in and out. And it's going to stay with Governor Livingston. And now there's 17 seconds left on the clock, and Governor Livingston is 17 seconds away from throwing off the 12 and 8 Point Pleasant Panthers. Oh, and there's a steal by Barber. And there's a blocking foul. That was a nice steal by Barber, nice awareness to get the ball back. And that was 10.4, and she's going to be going to the line after Governor Livingston is already in foul trouble. If she can hit these two, this game is going to be tied. And rightfully so, Brianna Skinner is going to come back in the game just in case there's any misses. It's a 1-and-1. Let's see if she can settle down and hit this one. Oh, and she hits the first one. Governor Livingston has a 1-point lead now. Now Brianna, this is a big free throw, probably biggest free throw of the game for Point Pleasant. Barber has to hit this free throw to tie this game back up. Oh, and she misses. Governor Livingston recovers. Barber misses, and Governor Livingston now will be going to the line. That's Point Pleasant's 17 foul, 6.7 remaining. One and one right now, and she hits it. And now Point Pleasant. Now Governor Livingston has a 2-point lead with 6.7 seconds left. Let's see if she can hit the next one. And she settles down, hits both of them. And now Governor Livingston has to shoot a 3. You would think they would try to find Barber. They can't. They find Ziger. Oh! And that's off the mark. And Governor Livingston, 8-13, throws off a 12 and 8 Point Pleasant team. That was a good game. Great game by both teams. And now Point Pleasant hurts their standings. Don't go anywhere as we have St. Patrick's going against Long Island Luther in about 20 minutes. I'm Kevin Henry here from Hardwood Arena, and I'll see you in 20 minutes.
Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University. We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean University. Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University. We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean University. Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University. tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean University. Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University. We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean University. Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University. We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kean University. Sometimes you learn by helping others learn. Kean University. Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University. Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kean University. We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University. Where will the next generation of scientists come from? Right here. Kean University. We're creating tomorrow's jobs today.